So, Keisha just got a Kirsten doll, and I have had Kirsten since I was a kid. Well, I have had Kirsten since my little sister decided that she's too old for dolls, and I inherited Kirsten. A lot of you guys already know me. You know that I worked at the American Girl doll store for about 1.5 years, a couple years ago, and I worked in their salon, and my job was doing dolls' hair. So this is my Kirsten. Her hair is kind of deceptively difficult to do, actually. The style is specific just to her. It doesn't work very well on the other dolls' wigs, so you really kind of can only do it on her. However, this style was done by my coworker when I worked at the store. So my coworker Natalie was the best at doing Kirsten's hair. Like, she was so good at doing this style. So I brought my doll in and I had her do it for me. After Natalie left the American Girl doll store to go back to college, congratulations, girl, I kind of ended up being one of the best people to do Kirsten. Like, people would bring a Kirsten to me like, Claire, here, you take care of this. We don't want to do this. So Kirsten's hairstyle kind of ended up being my job. But this Kirsten was done by Natalie, so I don't want to redo it. I'm still so in love with the way that Natalie did this hair. She always did a really good job, and I don't want to fuck with it. So we're going to let Molly be our model today. Molly and Kirsten were 2 of the 3 original American Girl dolls. You guys already know. I'm going to info dump anyway. There were 3 American Girl dolls, and they all had these same pie bangs, and their wigs are similar. Not exactly the same, but they're similar. So Kirsten's hair is actually, it's like thinner than the other doll's hair. I don't know what it is about Kirsten, but her hair is actually like difficult to do. It's not easy to do her hair. I always found it really challenging. Even giving her like the different hairstyles that we used to do at the store, they were all kind of difficult on like an older Kirsten doll who has kind of like knotted up, messy, tangled hair. She's harder to detangle than some of these other dolls. And when I got this Kirsten, I was like mad at my sister, like, oh, you fucked up her hair. You were bad at taking care of your doll. And I apologized to my sister because I was wrong. Kirsten's hair is hard to take care of. So don't feel like your Kirsten was not loved by the little girl who owned her if her hair's messed up. She is hard to take care of. So as far as like American Girl dolls hair standards go, their hair is Kanekalon. It is human grade Kanekalon. So this is a more high quality kind of a hair than you're used to on a doll. One of the big things about these dolls is you do not want to get their bodies wet. Their bodies are made of cloth. Okay, so like, let's say you did get their bodies wet. No big deal, right? It's not that big of a deal. When I say you don't want to get their bodies wet, I mean little girls need to not be taking these things into the pool with them. So I have the hair care kit from American Girl. I know that you can get like Target brand, off-brand versions of this kit and get yourself like a cute little smock that she can wear while she's getting her hair done so that it's not, gonna get her body wet. If you do get her body wet while you're doing her hair, relax. It's fine. I mean, if you did it all the time and left her in a humid place, she might grow a little bit of mold, but you don't have to worry about that too much. So, American Girl dolls, people buy these like cute little brushes. Let me go get mine. Let me go get it. Hold on. I didn't start with everything I needed. So American Girl sells these brushes. Mine's messy because I use it. I do use it. They're $8, or they were $8 last time I checked. Maybe they're selling them for like $10 now. They're cute. They're little, and they're perfect for the little girls that are the target demographic of these dolls, right? Because they fit in their hands. I mean, look how small this little brush is. And I have small hands. So these brushes fit really good in little girls' hands, and little girls are able to have like better control over what they're doing with the doll's hair. I'm a grown-up and I need a bigger brush. So at the store, this is what they use, right? I looked up on Amazon, Diane wig brush. You want a wig brush, because here's the deal. Plastic bristle brushes are going to damage your doll's hair over time. You need metal bristle brushes because her hair is made of plastic, and the metal against the plastic is going to create a lot less friction than the plastic against plastic would. So you need a metal bristle brush. These are like $4 on Amazon, and they're going to fit in your grown-up hands, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to get through and brush her hair quicker than just using the like you're going to cover more ground this way. It's going to be easier for you as a grown-up taking care of your doll. But I do highly recommend getting the cute little ones if you're giving this to a little girl, right? It's going to fit in her hands better. It's going to be easier. Also, it's adorable. I also know Target sells these too. They sell metal brushes for their dolls. So you do want to get their hair wet when you're doing it, right? How wet does her hair need to be? That is going to depend on how, how tangled is it? How messed up is it? So I cover her eyes when I do my spritzing. I have a little water bottle. I'm going to spritz. You want it to be wet, but it doesn't need to be like dripping, but it needs to be like as wet as it can be without dripping. Like, I don't know, like you don't want to drench it, but you need it to be pretty wet. And the more damaged the doll's hair is, the more tangled it is, the more water you are going to use. Don't be afraid of the water, okay? It's okay if you're using too much water. Too much is probably better than not enough, honestly. Your brush is just gonna go through it a lot smoother and a lot easier. And then making the braids is gonna be easier to do with wet hair too. You're gonna keep it smooth and you're gonna keep it nice. A lot easier while her hair is wet. You'll grip it better. I mean, there's 1,000 reasons why her hair should be wet while you're doing it. And if it gets too wet, soak it up with a towel a little bit. It's not a big deal. You're just going to damage it more while working with everything you do to hair is going to damage it, right? So, okay. So starting at the bottom, right? I know it sounds like so obvious and you already know this, but this is like part of my spiel, so you're going to hear it. But starting at the bottom, working your way up inch by inch. I'm not pulling out any of Molly's hair right now. There's no reason to be brushing it so hard that you're ripping her hair out, even if it's super, super tangly. Right, you're going to pull hair out, but if you're starting at the bottom and slowly working your way up on all of that, you're going to lose a lot less hair in the process. It is totally fine to lose a little bit of hair while you're brushing it, but you don't need to yank it out. Now, Molly's hair is perfect. Like, I didn't even need to brush it. I'm so sorry. I'm just demonstrating at this point. I love you, Molly. Okay, so Kirsten and Molly both have their hair parted in the back as part of like the way their wig works, right? They have lots of these little baby hairs to cover up the back hair so you don't see you can kind of see this one. She's got like the weft of her wig because some of those baby hairs are missing because she's from the 90s and she's just kind of lived through a lot, but she still looks good. So she has all these baby hairs in the middle. all American Girl dolls have these little baby hairs, but Molly and Kirsten have this wig that's designed to be parted in the middle, in the back, right? So she's gonna have like a different look, whereas like Kira here was not supposed to have her hair parted in the back. If we part it in the back, you're gonna see a lot more of those like wig wefts. Like it's not gonna be as cute. We can make it work, but it wasn't like intended to be split down the middle the way that Kirsten and Molly's hair are. So, okay, here it is. This is the hard part, right? The actual style, right? Okay, so here's the deal. Her ear is right here, okay? So when I do this braid, I am going to start my braid right at the back behind her ear, right? Like right here is where I want to start the braid. This is going to be true for Kirsten and it's true for this Molly. We're going to start the braid right here behind the ear. Okay, and I know I have the cute chair and everything, but like you can figure this out with her, like, you know, sticking her between your knees the way that you know, do doll hair. Like you're going to be okay. I don't think you need the chair, okay? I like the chair. Right here behind her ear. And then you're going to make 3 pieces. You know this. You know how to make a braid. I get really fussy at this part to make my 3 pieces like equal and the right size. For me, this is like the make or break it part of the style, honestly. It's gonna look goofy if my pieces are different sizes. So I spend a lot of time on this part, and maybe it seems silly to spend so much time making sure my pieces are the perfect sizes, but I think it really makes a difference in the long run of how the style is going to look if I make the pieces like perfect. So I get really fussy at this part and almost like neurotic. Like I'm almost neurotic about this because if the pieces are not the right sizes at this point, if they're uneven, if they're coming from the wrong angles, it's not gonna be cute or as cute. Everything's gonna be cute. She's still gonna be cute no matter how bad we are at doing this because she is an American Girl doll. So you can't make her not cute, right? We can just, you know, make her cuter. She's always gonna be cute by default. So I go through and I brush a lot while I'm doing this, right? I need her hair to be smooth and flat. Incredibly smooth and flat. And I'm gonna add more water and I am gonna brush it out over and over and over again because the flatter her hair is, the better this braid is gonna look. All right, and you know how to do a braid. This part's easy, right? You're gonna start back here behind the ear and you're gonna cross your pieces over and cross them over, etc. I'm gonna give you some tips though on the best practices for this is for Molly, this is for Kirsten, and this is for Kaya. You want their braids to be flat braids, right? So a flat braid means we are going to go over the pieces with our thumbs and we are going to smooth it out as we go. So I'm gonna bring around this piece and I'm gonna smooth it out with my thumbs. I'm gonna bring around another piece. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna brush and I'm gonna smooth out the next part with my thumb. So at every single twist, I'm smoothing it out with my thumb. For me, this is something that I do pretty naturally while braiding already. I don't have to think about it much. But a lot of people's braids turn out pretty like chunky and thick because they are not smoothing out each piece as they go. You are gonna have a better time if you smooth out each piece of the hair. especially when you get to the end and it's time to like roll Kirsten's hair up into her little loops, her little traditional Swedish style. Okay, so I braid down as far as I can go until the hair starts to like get real wispy at the bottom. Maybe even a little further than I should go is how far down I'm gonna go, because I wanna have less baby hairs at the bottom that I'm gonna have to tuck up into the rest of her hair. You'll see in a second. Hopefully that'll make sense. So just go down as far as you can possibly go before the hair starts like sticking out. So you can see how this braid is more flat on the side than it seems. Does this make sense to you guys, that it's a flat braid? If you just braid over without smoothing it out with your thumbs, it's gonna come out like chunky. So you wanna make it like flat. So here is where we are at with the hair. After this, we just have to tuck it up, right? So you're gonna pull it under like so. And you are actually going to hold on, I need a rat tail comb. I didn't bring everything I needed in here. Let me get my rat tail comb. So at this point, you are going to need a rat tail comb or something called a topsy tail. A topsy tail would like hook the end of the hair and you could go through and pull the hair up through, but we're gonna do just fine with the rat tail comb. We're gonna go inside the hair underneath one of the loops here at the top. You gotta be careful at this part because you can break off a lot of her hair at the root if you are doing this like roughly and like not paying attention to what you're doing. So we're gonna pull up and we are going to bring the hairs up under. We're just gonna tuck them under using our rat tail comb. Okay, I mostly have that the way I want it. So I'm gonna tie it off and then I'm gonna do a little bit more work on tucking it in. I wanna get my ponytail holder as far up and under her braid as I can. And then I put another ponytail holder like right on top of it. At this point though, you can just use her, I'm pretty sure when you buy a Kirsten, her hair is just held up at this point by her little ribbons that she comes with, but your hairstyle is gonna last a lot longer if you use another hair tie right there. And then we'll just do a little bit more work to like tuck it in. And this is a part where you can mess up a lot and you can make it look really bad. And you can end up having to like undo the whole thing because you pulled up too much of the hair here while trying to tuck. So just like literally have patience with it. Like just be patient with it. And if you have to redo it like 100 times, you have to redo it like 100 times. By the end of it, you're going to be really, really good at doing hair. So that is all there is to it. Just a few little tips and tricks. It doesn't look great on Molly because Molly's hair isn't quite as long as Kirsten's hair is. And honestly, I'm out of practice, but if we look at the way that Natalie did it, you can see how it's so beautifully tucked up inside. The way that she's got the hair tied all, I mean, she's so perfect like this. So that is how it's done. Good luck doing Kirsten's hair. This is not the easiest hairstyle, even though it looks like it might be. Bye, friends.